Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Fox Ridge Philately. This is episode 13. It is Friday the 13th, December the 13th. It's a beautiful, sunny, coolish day here on the east coast of Canada, but it's really quite nice out. We were out for an hour walk this morning, and it's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to put an episode together, so just doing this one kind of quickly. Things have been a little bit busy here around the household. I just thought I'd show you some of the items I picked up yesterday from a philatelic friend of mine. If you watched the previous episode, you know that we were recently in Southeast Europe for a couple of weeks in November. Had an incredible trip, including a river cruise on the Danube and some time on land as well. Also excursions while we were on the Danube. But at the end, we spent 2 nights in Brasov, Romania, and 2 nights in Bucharest, Romania. And the whole area I found rather fascinating. And this is just a Scott catalog that I was using here to sort through some of these stamps. And before I get to the stamps, I thought I'd show you, and I think I showed you last episode as well, a couple of the books I picked up in Bucharest. And I've just started, you can see I just started this one, which I think will be a really good read, Children of the Night, the strange and epic story of modern Romania, and this should be a lot of fun as well. Prince Dracula, the bloody legend of Vlad the Impaler. So having a new interest yet again in philately. When I was down the other end of the valley a little bit yesterday, I stopped in to see Steve and went through some stamps and picked up some Romanian stamps to add to my collection. And I don't have a lot of Romanian stamps. I was looking for pre-World War II specifically. You probably are aware that Romania and a number of other countries in that part of the world produced a lot of stamps in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and so on. And yeah, I have a number of those, but I was more interested in the historical aspects of World War II and before that. So here's some of the ones I picked up, and I've got a few more over here. Perhaps I could show you too in a little bit. I'll just quickly run through them. And I'll label them so that I could remember what they are, and I'll put them, I'm not sure if I'll put them in various sheets or if I'll start a stock book of Romanian stamps. So a number of definitives here, as you can see, just quickly looking around. King Carl. So there was a monarchical, is that the right word, line, royalty line in Romania from, when did it start? I think it was, I want to say 1841. No, that's not right. Is that right? 1881, I think. 1881 to 1947, I believe. And before the kingdom was abolished and became a republic. And King Carl was the first king of Romania. And you see the Scott catalog numbers are 119 to 126. And these definitives were issued 1893 to 1898. And then the ones directly below it, so that was the top 4 there, sorry. The ones directly below it, it shows King Ferdinand, 1920 to 1926, they were issued. And their Scott catalog numbers 270 to 275. So King Carl I was followed by King Ferdinand. And just going across, these are sort of in chronological order, but not totally. 1906, nice issue here of King Carl I. If you can get that to focus, that's a little bit better. Not of him specifically, but showing parts of the countryside and parts of Carl, for instance, on horseback, etc. And here's King Carl I, 25th anniversary of the kingdom, issued in 1906. And then definitives of King Carl, 1908 to 1918, the Scott catalog numbers, and then 1909 to 1918 there too. Quite like these. I have to credit Ken's stamp collection a little bit. If you haven't followed Ken on YouTube, I'd encourage you to do that. I really enjoy his episodes, and he's a big collector of definitives, and has really sparked my interest in definitives too. So starting a bit of a definitive collection in Romania. Couple from 1906, General Exposition. There's several in the in that series. I only have 2 showing here, a couple that I picked up yesterday. I haven't done any research. I don't know if that's a philatelic exhibition or what that was. Kind of cool, overprints. Recovery of Transylvania and Return of the King to Bucharest, 1919, so just post-World War I. And 1918 overprint there. I'll slide over here for a moment because I actually have that twice. I picked it up twice mistakenly. That's okay. It's just a set of the two Scott catalog, 241, 242. And there's King Carl again. And the annexation of Silistria by Romania, issued in 1913. A couple of those issues. In 1911 and 1919, definitives there. That'd be should be a Ferdinand, isn't it? I don't have that down there. I might be wrong on that. King Michael, who would have followed Ferdinand, was a young boy here, issued 1928, 1929. 30th anniversary of the opening of the post office in Bucharest. And that's the one on the left. Quite a nice stamp. I think it catalogs at around $8. No, I think I paid $8 for it. I think it catalogs around 11. And centenary of the birth of King Carl I. You can see the importance of King Carl in Romanian history. And that's King Carl II. That was issued in 1932 on horseback. And here's King Carl II, issued in 1930. I'm just trying to go up here a little bit. Be careful. Issued in 1930, King Carl II definitives. That one there has got a bit of a, I don't think that's folded back. I think that might actually be a cut or a tear there, unfortunately. But they're still nice stamps. And these ones are a little farther along. I just like the looks of them more than anything else. 50th anniversary of the Mathematics Journal. Oh, there's a rip-roaring good read for you. Sorry, math would not be perhaps my strength, but I thought the stamps were rather attractive. You see the Scott catalog numbers there too. Issued in 1945. I'll just zoom out so you can get a better sense of them here. And I didn't put the values on there because, yeah, maybe when I put them in various sheets or stock books, I'll add the catalog value, but yeah, that's not really why I collect. I just, I like the looks of them, and I'm learning a lot from them as well. The monarchy is, even though it's short, there's some interesting pieces in the monarchy for Romania. It says King Carl I, clearly, 1881 until just the start of World War I in 1914. And speaking of which, if I zoom in here, so this is showing Pelish Castle there on the right. And we visited Pelish Castle. It's just outside of the town of Sinaia, just near the borderland of Wallachia and before you get into Transylvania and the Carpathian Mountains. And he had that castle built for him, and they finished building the castle in 1914. He died in 1914, so he didn't get to really enjoy much of it. And he's followed by Ferdinand I, and then Michael, and then Carl II, and then Michael again. So I have some research there to do around why it bounced back and forth there between Michael and Carl. And the first part of this book is really quite interesting because it speaks first of Vlad II, which would be Vlad Tepes or Vlad the Impaler, or you might know as Dracula. It'd be Vlad III's father, Vlad II, and his subsequent capture by the Ottomans and what happened to him, and what perhaps set Vlad III, Dracula, on the road of some pretty gory stuff that he did during his own reign. And of course, it led to the story of Dracula by Bram Stoker. So lots of interesting reading there to be had. There's the first part of the video, and if I get set up in a little bit, perhaps I'll show you these other few things that I picked up, which are quite nice too. Okay, I'm back with part two, I suppose, of my recent Romanian acquisitions. These are back of the books, some postage due stamps here, and actually some Cinderellas, and another interesting set down there, which I'll talk about in a moment. So I picked up these postage dues, same place from Steve that I picked up the others that you just saw. And these are 1957 postage dues, really attractive set here. And they are unused. And then over here, there's some 1982s. Nice job on the postage dues, Romania. And then 1992, a couple of them there too. And occupation stamps, and he had some more of these. I kind of picked them up as samples. Austrian occupation of Romania in 1917, so you can see the overprint there. And then German occupation stamps, also 1917. The one on the right is unused. And surcharged German occupation, issued 1918. And then finally, postal tax stamp, German occupation, 1917. And we'll set of 3 Cinderellas here. And my stamp identifier app tells me that they are International Agricultural Exhibition stamps issued in 1954. They do not show up in Scott catalog, of course, because they are Cinderellas. When I looked online, I could find ones for years in the 50s, but not 1954 specifically, but the others were also Cinderellas, and made me think that what stamp identifier I came up with was correct for those. And I have maps on stamps. You can see they have a map there of Romania too, kind of roughed out. They'll fit in nicely with my maps on stamps collection if I didn't want to keep them in my Romania collection. And these are kind of cool. These are not in Scott catalog either. And here they are. They're listed as, 1946 issued. Prisoners of War stamp for use for prisoners of war franchise stamps. So I guess if you were a prisoner of war in World War II, these are the stamps you used. Maybe somebody could correct me or confirm that. Rather nice looking stamps. So that, as well as the others that I showed in the first segment of the episode, are all the Romanian stamps that I picked up. And in between clips here, I added the others into a stock book. So I'll put these in that stock book as well. And perhaps I'll go through and see what other Romanian stamps I have. And as I said earlier, it is, you are aware likely too, Romania issued a lot of stamps for, I think, really the philatelic market in the 60s and 70s. And yeah, some of them I like and quite enjoyed. And I think a lot of it was quite superfluous at the time too. So these ones are of more interest to me. I just see them as having more historical and cultural value perhaps, but everyone has their own opinion. I hope things are well with you folks and you're enjoying your stamps and able to settle down and do some work on, excuse me, your own collection from time to time too. Take good care, and as always open for comments and welcome hearing from you, and like and subscribe if you haven't, please do so. Thanks very much.